This man Hubbard, the one who created Earthships, he said in an interview, if you know where you're going, then you're not going anywhere. And well, that's heartening, right? Because I do not know where I'm going right now. I'm literally like, I feel like the more I continue on this path, the less I know what this performance is really about. Like, it's like the more I know and the less at the same time, because in this movie, it turns out that the main character, his biggest struggle came out of because of his parents, that they were unhappy, and that he found out his father had lied to them and had actually had a whole other family. And it was this secret, this denial of this other family, that really made the character completely question his identity and his past, because it was fictitious. And this really brought me back to the idea of family constellation, and like, which says that like any secret, within the family unit, which includes everyone, the community, it disrupts the entire system. So, the father in this family didn't know what he was doing when he was keeping that a secret. But, this character eventually dies a very early death because of his seeking for some kind of internal peace or truth. And in family constellation therapy, they talk about how if there's an imbalance in the system, an imbalance is caused by secrets or rejection, then the system will seek to balance itself out through like an early death, or someone else in the family will kind of suffer to create a balance in an unnatural way, that reflects the original omission. And this is why it's so important for stories to be told. Because if the story is told just like this, these thousands, there's like hundreds of thousands of women who were working as sex slaves just in this, under the Japanese imperialism, and this is just one section out of the world. The Japanese women also suffered as sex slaves to American soldiers, later. So it's not about blaming a certain group, but with that group of comfort women in particular, because their stories are not being told, like the Japanese government, and not just the Japanese government, but governments around the world, like their stories are not told in history books. Like the Holocaust is talked about at great length, as it should be, but like this is another type of like very huge a wartime atrocity that isn't acknowledged and spoken about. And the point I'm trying to make is that it's not just about those women, and their descendants, because that the imbalance that omission causes will affect all of us, because we're all descendants, and in some way that balance will try to resolve itself, which is what is playing out in the world right now. Like, the reason why things cycle so much, you know, particularly the suffering, is because balance is not being restored, because the oppressed, their stories are not being shared. And so the cycle continues.